Hello everyone and welcome to my latest video. I'm calling this Can Heavy Kimberly, mostly because it's a collection of can mix-ups from various launchers that I think are underused, underexplored, and I don't know, just generally people don't tend to recognize how strong this can be. Now, everything started from a specific mix-up, which is the first one that I will show in the video, which I have a separate video about. They got me curious about the potential of this character when it came to cans, particularly but not only mid-screen. I will try and leave the information on every single mix-up in the description. If this doesn't work due to the character limit, I'll probably have a Google Doc or something that will be public so you can see what every single mix-up beats and what it loses to, okay? Hope you enjoy this. We will start. Now, for this specific mix-up, Ryu is set to reversal, EXTP with no delay. And this is because this mix-up does beat EXTP. How? We will see it in a minute. I will start from the left corner, but this can be done mid-screen with no problems at all. So here you can combo into your favorite ender. This, as you've seen, beats reversal EXDPs, but it can do a lot more. To see all that it can do, please watch the video in the description dedicated to this specific mix-up. As promised, these are some variations for setup 1, FrameKill 1. For the second variation, remember to use a heavy can and to neutral jump into the OD Izuna, because if you forward jump it gets weird and most of the time it drops. If your opponent has a tendency to crouch and not block, maybe you don't want to use the last variation, since the tatsu will whiff on crouches. This mix-up that I will show you is a side swap mix-up and an instant overhead mix-up. This also beats DP. It does beat reversal throw, and it's plus on block if the opponent blocks the can after you swap sides. +5. This mix-up is overhead. It trades with 4 frames if set up correctly, and it allows you then to combo into the can explosion. And if they were to block it, you +18. This next mix-up will be a low. If set up correctly, it should beat 4 frame spam. This next mix-up is a Safejump. So I will first show you the frame advantage after the setup, and then I will do the setup to demonstrate the safe jump for you. So as you've seen, it is plus 41, so that also covers 5 frame reversals. So as you've seen, you can option select a parry or block to defend from the reversal. Moreover, once you have conditioned them to not reversal, you can do a few things that could be useful. You can take advantage of the plus 37 on block. Go empty and throw before the can explosion, which they will not know about most likely. You can poke and get frame advantage on the crouching light kick. All of these mix-ups start from standing heavy punch or a crouching heavy punch into Vagabond Edge, and then going into jump cancel, EX Izuna drop, or OD Izuna drop, however you like to call it. But each of them will have their own specific frame kill, which I will link either in the description or the Google Doc. And some of them, for other launchers, will also have variations to confuse the opponent. This will be explained both in text, and I will also have a chart to make it a little bit clearer. Always from the same launcher, but with a different frame kill, we will have other mix-ups once your opponent started to get used to this set of ones. For example, on the first mix-up, most high-level player will start waking up with hold parry. So to counter that, we can have a throw setup. So I will show you how that looks like. We'll go into the bomb and will allow you to combo. Now, if your opponent was to start meshing because they don't want to be thrown into the bomb, the same frame kill is actually +3, so you can frame trap them into the bomb. I will show you how that looks like. So here are some variations for this specific mix-up. Make sure to time your jumping heavy punch like you would time a safe jump to have the correct timing. With this variation, remember to slightly delay your throw or your normal because you're +8 and not +3 like in the other one. This one is a bit of a gimmick because it has a gap in between, but if you want to try and incorporate an overhead into the situation, you can do this. And it will be +1 on block. And on hit, it will allow you to combo. This was all for now for launcher 1. Let's move to launcher 2. Now, as you might have seen, particularly with the first mix-up, some of these mix-ups are drive bar expensive. So there are some alternatives to save drive bar and still put your opponent into a mix-up. Launchers 2 only difference, it always starts from standing heavy punch or crouching heavy punch into the same sequence, but instead of going into OD Izuna drop, which we were doing with the first mix-up, we'll do this. Drive rush, crushing light punch into heavy can. You can also do some variations, but I will talk about these variations at the end of this batch of mix-ups. So at the moment we'll do everything with the FrameKill with drive rush, crushing light punch into throwing heavy bomb. Okay. From there, we can do drive rush, standing medium punch, which will beat 4 frame spam. With a counter hit. And then we can confirm the counter hit into various things. But if they block, you can set up various mix-ups. For example, if they were to mesh 4 frames after blocking drive rush, standing medium punch, you can combo into the can explosion. And if they were to block instead, you will get a plus 29 on block. Now, when you condition them not to press buttons, after the drive rush, standing medium punch, you could go into an overhead. And you will be plus 10 on block. And of course, on hit, it will combo with the explosion. If your opponent starts to alternate guards on reaction or start to parry after the first block, you can also throw them before the can explodes. He will not throw into the bomb, but you can also score a good punish counter throw if they parry, or generally a throw to open them up again if they were to alternate block. You can also set up a surprise side swap with this sequence to force them to change their guard because you will be swapping sides. And on block you're plus 5. If they were to reversal right after blocking the DR standing medium punch on your side swap, it trades with the reversal, so you can use it for a last hit situation. At this point, your opponent may try to delay throw tech to defend from your mix-ups. You can use this sequence not only to punish that, but also to use it as an instant overhead. And unblock your plus. As promised, these are the variations for setup 2. Plus 14. Plus 15. Also keep in mind that if your opponent likes to walk back and generally doesn't block low, drive rush crushing medium kick can also counter it for frames. Now launcher 3 will be range specific, so this is why we are starting from this position. So generally from this position with a jump in or a close standing heavy kick into Tiger Fang into this, you will have more or less the right position to set up this launcher. Now the characteristic that you have to follow here is that after the sequence where the wall splat happens, if you were to throw a can, you should be able to combo into light Vagabond Edge. This will leave you at plus 30 with the can still on its way to explode. And this can create really advantageous situations. And on block, you should be plus 4. You can also go for a low in this in the same setup. And on block, this will be plus 9. You can go for a double frame trap, and I will explain what I mean with double frame trap. I'll show you first. So you combo from this. On block, it will be plus 6 by itself. Okay. But you can also run cancel it into minimal run to keep it a plus 1. So making it a frame trap if you only do the crouching heavy punch, but also still a frame trap if you were to cancel it to confuse the idea of the opponent. This particular mix-up changes the can we are using. So until now we were using the heavy can. For this specific mix-up, you have to use the medium can. You will do forward heavy kick, which will whiff, but you will recover in front of your opponent at -3 with the can that will instantly explode the frame after. So this will allow you to trade in your favor with a crouching light punch that cannot be cancelled, or with an attempt to throw. I will demonstrate. Allowing you to combo. And if they were to go for a throw, look closely for the startup of the animation. They will not get there in time to grab you, and you will be able to combo as well. Also, this will be plus 14 on block if they decide not to press anything. In this specific case, since we're going to try and bait a drive impact with the fake drive impact, we are going to place 2 cans instead. So you will recover in time to have another drive impact and punish them for going for their one. Also, if your opponent was to start to respond to this setup with an OD reversal, you can whiff standing light kick to beat most reversals in the game. And then punish on the recovery. If they were to simply block this setup, it's also +5 on block. This other low setup is quite similar to the first one. It's just to throw a little bit of a variety in there and confuse your opponent, but it works more or less the same way. It's low. If you throw two cans, you can beat the drive impact. If you're not expecting them to drive impact, it's also +9 on block. This one is a bit of a gimmick because it is punishable on block, but it can beat throws, and it's also an instant overhead setup. It is only +8, so it will allow you to combo into tatsus, EX tatsu into level 2 or level 3. Now, I've set up this particular setup because you need a +29, as you will see in the replay. And also in this setup, there is no force knockdown, so the opponent can recover in place or can recover backwards. Now, as with the other setup, you can also throw two cans, one in the place where they will normal recover and one in the place where they will back recover. It is more expensive, but it will cover all bases just in case. For the first mix-up, we will have a drive rush back heavy kick. This trades with 4 frames, but it trades in your favor, and you have to do it as soon as you recover, because it's just the right amount of frames. You can also go for a low with empty run crushing medium kick. This will allow you then to combo into a button into a launcher. The low setup will also be +2 on block if the Ryu chooses not to mesh, allowing you to frame trap again with standing light kick into torso cleaver. And if they choose to push a button after blocking the crouching medium kick, this is what happens. You can also go for a throw. You will have to manually delay slightly because it will be +6, but this will allow you not only to throw them but also to counter hit any 4 frame spam. This next setup is to shimmy a throw attempt. It's a little bit complicated because based on where they recover, you can either walk back and punish with standing heavy punch into various sequences, or you would have to backdash, do standing medium kick into various sequences. You can also confirm the two sequences on block into light Vagabond Edge for big frame advantage. This next one is not really a mix-up, it's more of a pressure sequence, and it will allow you to drain 4 drive bars from your opponent only using half of yours. All of this sequence is a frame trap, and I'll break it down one by one for you. Here you +7, so if you go into standing medium punch, standing heavy punch, standing medium punch starts in 6, so you're absolutely fine and able to counter hit spammers from block. Here you're still +4, even though you're throwing a can. Here on the explosion you're +25, so you can do drive rush standing heavy kick with no problems. Here you're +6, your crouching heavy punch is 8 frames and your standing heavy punch is 9 frames. Both will counter it for framers. And out of those, this into this is only a 1 frame gap, and this into this should only have 2 frame gaps. So in any case, you're covered. The whole sequence, when we put the drain into motion, looks like this. As you can notice, I've drained a lot of Ryu meter while almost having none missing from mine. So this last launcher only works in the corner. It's a bit of a weird and complicated sequence, and it requires you to drop a possible combo to get into this setup that is quite weird. So I have a friend with me that is going to be the human dummy for this. So we're gonna have them mesh 4 frames on wake up after I drop the cans. And this is to show you what happens after you drop the cans if the opponent meshes 4 frames on wake up while you do a slide, which is gonna hit melee. So you get this cute little double bounce, double explosion, and if we go and put the frame meter on and repeat the sequence again, I will show you that you're going to be +10. So don't wake up with the 4 frames. I'm just gonna show the frame advantage. So you see +10 there. Now this +10 allows you then to have this slide completely meaty. So if they were to press a button, which we will demonstrate again, wake up with meshing 4 frames, they will be hit by the double explosion. And this is where the setup starts to get interesting and show its potential. Okay, so why is it important that we get the double bounce? It's because on a double explosion, right after the first explosion detonates with a specific FrameKill, you can actually restock the can and throw it and retain a 2 frame advantage. So you're going to be +2. +2. So once you've established the +2, you can either throw or standing medium punch into art step to go into a combo. This is a sequence that takes a lot of practice to get the +2 consistently, but even at 0, you can start with a crouching light punch just to, force the trade and get the explosion to combo with. Now, in a situation in which then you've established that they cannot mesh 4 frames or throw because of the slide, you can then get away with other mix-ups. Or +6, +15. -4, but the second cannon will explode right after. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it will help you with utilizing the cans not only in the corner but pretty much everywhere with Kimberly and from more situations than usual. Just generally remember that I do coaching, like personal coaching, and I have a lot of experience, a lot of students. So if you are willing to improve, whether it's with Kimberly specific stuff, or generally on Street Fighter 6, feel free to check the links in the description for my coaching profile, or just reach directly via Discord or Twitter. Have a great one.